So, now let's go back to the topic of my brother. My nephew was born towards the end of the year. Within a month of my nephew being born, Child Protective Services had to step in. This shit's gonna get deep. Child Protective Services had to step in. My brother was actually investigated for attempted murder and child abuse and child neglect. What happened? The family will never fucking know. The facts that happened? My nephew somehow miraculously ended up with a cracked skull that was unaccounted for, that Angie lied about at least 5 or 6 times and pushed the finger off onto my brother. I have my issues with my ex. I have my own issues of how women use system to be able to attack people or go at people. So yes, I was supporting my brother at the time because I believed him. It was not him. But yet, after 6 to 9 months of an investigation of trying to take the child and the child, like legitimately from the back of the head here all the way to the base of the skull was cracked. You know what the excuse was? And we're talking within three weeks of a child being born, okay? Yes, their skulls are soft up here. They got a soft spot on their head. Every baby has that. But back here, that shit takes a lot. Whether you're a newborn or whether you're an older person, it takes a lot to crack the skull in the back of the head right here. So needless to say, Angela came up with 3 or 4 different fucking stories that occurred. The first story, you know those little like baby bouncer things that you put on and they fucking vibrate and they fucking make kids like soothe them to sleep, like they're, I call them like a little vibrator bouncy thing. I don't know what the fuck they're actually called. What her excuse was that my nephew was born with jaundice and needed sunlight. So she went ahead and took that fucking bouncer, put on top of a dresser, opened up the windows, but keep in mind, when the cops showed up, there was no dresser in front of the window. Okay? Follow this. So she opened up the windows to allow her son to get help for jaundice. During that time, she never buckled the child in to the vibrating thing. Apparently, it vibrated so much, the bottom dresser drawer was open. Apparently, the thing vibrated off the top of the dresser, flipped, causing my nephew to fall out of the vibrator, cracking his skull. That was the first story. The first story. Second story was that my brother abused Angie and assaulted his son. And that's when they started targeting my brother, going after my brother for legitimately attempted murder, child abuse, child neglect, and assault something. No bullshit. My brother had to jump through all the hoops for fucking CPS. Then, my brother standing his ground, not being able to live in the house, doing all that shit because Angie was definitely claiming the domestic violence shit and it wasn't her that fucking did it. But it just coincidentally, my brother was a roofer at that time. He wasn't even fucking home. So he was able to take at least a month, be able to prove that he had nothing to do with it, and he was getting pissed himself because he wanted answers. So during the interrogation of Angie's fucking truth, because Angie couldn't tell you the truth, even if the truth smacked Angie in the face. Angie is a lying fucking bitch. Conniving bitch is what Angie is. She is a scam artist, and she is no fucking good. On YouTube, off YouTube, it don't fucking matter. She's a thief, she's a liar, she fucking beyond fraud, beyond all that shit. She is a 150% scam artist. Get this, in the state of Washington, I didn't know this. You can opt out from getting TANF, which is cash assistance. If you get a one-time payment of $5,000, the state of Washington will give you a $5,000 grant if you agree not to go back on assistance or TANF for 5 years. She knows about those type of programs. She's fucking helped my ex be able to fucking flee Idaho with that program. A resident of Idaho, claiming in Washington, getting money from Washington and Oregon. There's been no accountability for my ex. But Angie knows all about the system. So then the next story that came out was that Angie took my nephew into the bathroom, put him on top of the sink in the bouncer thing, and then he rolled off, flipped out of the thing, and hit his head on the toilet. That was the third story. First story was the dresser in front of the window. They came in, the cops came in, CPS came in. There was no fucking dresser by the window, guys. None. They knew right then she was fucking lying. Second story, that my brother did it. Third story, that it happened in a bathroom. After months of investigation for child abuse, child neglect, assault, and attempted murder, both Angela Walters and Sean Talley were able to not be charged, and no truthful facts out of Spokane County in Washington has any evidence or anything to support the facts of what actually factfully happened to that child. So Sean, you want to talk shit about me? You want to say how I am as bad as a parent? Have I ever been charged with fucking child charges? Have I ever had any sex charges? Have I ever had any fucking... No, I haven't. So, Sean, grow the fuck up and realize nobody gives a fuck about your life. Nobody gives a fuck about your little fantasies that you live. The facts are, you're a piece of fucking shit. You're just like your fucking mother. And that's the goddamn fucking truth, people. Look it up. I don't know because it's a juvenile case or whatever, if they'll be able to, but that is the fucking facts. 2.5 weeks after my nephew was born, they were ready to protect him and take him. It's illegal in Spokane County, right? Tyke, what's illegal? I lost that question. I'm not following that question. My head, so I'm not saying nothing towards you. I'm just saying I don't understand what you're saying. But yes, child abuse should be illegal anywhere. And in Spokane, they were ready to charge him and everything, so I would assume it's illegal. But, you know... Damn, Gina's back already. I figured that it was right for me to inform people of factual information about people that want to say that they're against child abuse. They want to say that they're against fucking child sex offenders and all this shit. You know how many friends Sean has in real life that are sex offenders? It's all a front for YouTube, people. I am somebody on YouTube, off of YouTube. I don't roll with pedophiles. I don't roll with shit like that. I get so much hate for even just pointing out. Yeah, it's illegal. There's crime, but there was no beyond reasonable doubt. By that time, there were so many fucking stories that Angie made up that they didn't even know the fucking truth, and they just kind of like made them jump through hoops for like 6 months or whatever, oversight of the kid in the case. Sean eventually got to be able to move back in, and then it kind of just fell under the way rug. Slow down. Sounds like you're talking to a Mexican. Are you talking to a Mexican? Yo no entiendo bien español. Sí, sí. Me gusta tu chachachas.
Oh my God.
Tell her that.
Okay, he said he likes his chachas. Okay. She's gonna be like, what'd she just say?
What?
She's gonna be like, hold on.
What did she just say? How come your kids are the only ones who went to CPS? Because you know why? My kids have a mother that has been for years alienating me and doing her best to keep the father out of the picture. That being said, her drug addiction has gotten so far out of it at times that legitimately dead bodies being found, people overdosing, what are the
crazy shit.
Yeah, I don't even know how to explain it, but because of the fact that laws and crimes were broken, and law enforcement had to step in to remove the kids from her.
Her drug addiction always overtrumped.
Yeah, her drug addiction always overrode the CPS cases or even the crimes that they committed. It was always stated that her addiction is more important than actually pressing charges. Hang on, guys. I will be 20 days old. I think if you're talking about like when, I think it was around that time. like when my nephew got placed. I will show you guys something real quick, some evidence. Actually, I'm not, because of a temporary order in place, and I don't want to violate it, just in case. But I will say this. For court in 2 days, I have everything to present to the Washington State courts of factual evidence of how my children have been victims numerous times to assault, endangering the welfare of minors, child neglect, child endangerment. And these are in Idaho, in the state of Idaho. Every one of those cases, with the kids being put in foster care for over a year and a half, that time, every time they go into foster care, it's over a year-long fucking case every time, guys. I do everything I can to fucking jump through the hoops, everything. But the CPS department has a rule to return home. Return home is where the children were removed from. So I have the stuff to show that even the Idaho courts depositioned down, which means that they took a plea deal to drop all the child endangerment, child neglect, all those charges against her and her husband, down to disturbing the peace. You guys, I have pictures to prove, and I can still remember vividly in my mind reading the report when it got fucking handed to me. I will recap what that report said. There was feces from the time that I took a step into the house. During my process of walking to the bedroom, I noticed a door closed with knee-high laundry piled to the doorknob. As I went to the door, it was basically like he went to the door to see if the door could open for fire safety reasons. The officer felt and heard soiled, crinkling diapers underneath his feet. I bet you won't, James Jones. How do I get James, answer this. How am I exploiting any children? I've never exploited any children. The facts with that, Slab City, I don't know if he actually did beat it. I don't know. All I know is just the facts, what I just told you guys. The facts were his son had a cracked skull. He was investigated for the charges, not Angie. Angie lies about fucking anything. Is Jose a good guy or a stupid traveler? Jose is a fucking slandering piece of shit is what Jose is. Jose ain't no fucking good. Jose can stay the fuck on his side of the fucking homeless land. You know what I'm saying? Like, there ain't no place for Jose around here. But James Jones, answer the question. You want to come in here and you want to act like whatever. You want to accuse me of exploiting a child or whatever. Let me hear it. Let me hear it. Do a video. Upload a fucking video, you troll-ass motherfucker. Try to prove that I've ever exploited any fucking children. Yes, that's the God's honest truth. I have the pictures showing that there was light bulbs, guys. 30 minutes after my child going to school. I have a letter from the police department apologizing to me as the father that they did not listen to me prior. They did a welfare check the night before. The chief of police went that next morning, right after my kids went to school. Guess what? There was enough safety concerns that the officer that failed to do his job the day before, he got fired. He got let go. There was feces on the toilet seat. There was a light bulb for smoking crack right on the sink in a little styrofoam cup. There was pills in the fucking sink. There was meth baggies and clothes and a computer. Like, these people didn't even sleep for fucking weeks. They had computer shit on their bed. No fucking, like, they pulled back the fucking, on a baby crib, they pulled back the blanket. It looked white, right? But when they pulled it back to show the difference for the evidential pictures, the fucking, the sheets were fucking yellow. I'm talking like an orangish fucking yellow like this. And you could definitely see the difference. Yes, Sean's, he did. I don't know if it healed all the way. I'm assuming it did because he can play. You exploit your own child all the time. Explain, John. How? Because you're about to get fucking blocked. For real. You want to sit here and blame me for exploiting whatever I'm asking you. How? Your accusations all the fucking time? Come on, bitch. I've had a restraining order for the last fucking year. Can't even talk about my kids. Got another one. So, where's your fucking evidence? Have I been to jail? I haven't fucking violated it, nothing. So, if anything, I exploit pedophiles that go after children. Sean should be in a jail for a lot of shit, like beating up Angie's father. You know, Angie will have to live forever with her father dying and thinking that his own daughter picked a piece of shit that assaulted him over her own father. See, James Jones, you ain't got shit. But you know what, John James Jones? You don't know shit. Salty pickle, this fucking... What? Who?
Pickle, this fucking...
What? The adult of what?
The adult that looks like a child.
Which one, babe? Which one?
The fat one.
Which fat one, babe? I'm the fat one. Fuck. I don't know which one you're talking about.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, I don't know.
Who was just talking shit to you?
James Jones?
No.
That's the only person talking shit to me.
He's short. He's fat. He fucking looks like a kid.
Oh, Jose.
Fuck.
Jose. That's how fucking... I didn't know that. That's how my old lady describes Jose, as the short... What'd you say? The short fat kid that... Or the short fat guy that looks like a kid?
Short, fat
The short fat guy that looks like a
kid.
kid. That's how my old lady describes Jose. I can show you guys. I have no paperwork to show about my fucking brother in the fucking cracked skull, but I can show anybody anytime. I have like over 4 foot of fucking paperwork. I've saved every piece of paper for my kids to know the truth. And I will keep it for a long fucking time, but Gina, do you happen to know what the results were of when my nephew had a cracked skull?
Oh, and Angie lied about the baby falling in the car seat?
Yeah, see, she wasn't even out here. She's like, oh, you mean when Angie lied about the baby falling in the car seat?
What the fuck really happened? We never know.
Yeah, see, even Gina says, what the fuck really happened? We never know. And we don't know. Jose is another troll. I think Jose's name just needs to be Jose Slanders.
He's out of my arms and he's never gotten hurt.
Do what?
When Alex was a baby,
Yeah?
I fell asleep with him in my arm. My arm fell asleep.
I know, it takes a lot to crack a skull, I know.
And it didn't crack his skull.
And you know what? What's really fucked up?
This close to a fucking...
This is how bad Angela... What, babe?
He's disgusting.
This is how bad Angela is. See, my son was born 2 weeks before my nephew was born. But Angie wanted to be able to, in my opinion, scam her own child. And legitimately, no bullshit, guys, she was claiming so bad cramps. Also, keep in mind, if you have a baby before the end of the year, you get to claim that child on taxes for that year. So if my nephew was born after January, she wouldn't get no beneficial stuff until that next year. So she claimed the belly cramps and all this shit, and she was like, I don't know, 4 or 5 weeks early to even have a baby? Well, there was complications with the pregnancy. They bring her to the hospital, and legitimately, I've never seen shit like this before. The nurses were legitimately not standing, but like pushing all their fucking weight on her belly to help push my nephew out. He was forced out of this world. Guess on what day, guys? On Christmas Day. Christmas Day. Because Angie wanted the attention from her family. Angie wanted to be able to be reckoned. But what Angie didn't realize was the fact that her son was going to be born on Christmas and his birthday was going to be taken away. It was just easier and simpler for her as a parent to have one holiday that you spend money on your child for than have 2 that you have to spend money on a child for. Yeah, see, Natalie attacked me when all that shit fell off, and she fucking went after my mental health, all this shit or whatever. I don't like Natalie at all. I think Natalie's a fucking... I don't like her at all. At all. Not one bit. She's a fucking bootlicking fucking piece of shit. The way that she totally jumped on board with fucking attacking me and shit like that, with everything that my brother said or whatever. That bitch had no idea at all about anything other than that she needed a place to fucking shower. And my assumption is that Natalie has an opiate problem. Because why? Angela has an opiate problem.
And Sean doesn't want to know about
And Sean doesn't want to know about it. Because why? It's okay for Sean to go out in the garage and smoke weed and Angie not know about it. As long as she can keep getting her pills and Sean not know about it.
Dude, the moment that she would hear that.
And trust me, I know. Just trust me on that, okay? I've taken a lot of her money.
Anybody that had me before we got there.
What?
When she found out that we would come up and visit her, she would be calling me, asking me if I knew anybody down here in Oregon.
I don't know if you guys can hear her or not, but maybe that's not a good thing to hear, but fuck it, if I'm exposing my past or whatever, so be it, but...
I'm sorry, I'm just truthful. I don't fucking have to lie.
Right? It is truthful. Oh, here, guys, check this out. I got the fucking paperwork right here. All the case